Hello, everyone, and good evening. Uh, Welcome to our channel where we talk about teaching abroad, living abroad, thriving abroad, and just being amazing abroad. We are two Nigerian teachers abroad. Omomi is in the UK. I'm Ajala. I'm everywhere. And today we're going to be talking about QTS because we've got a lot of people who come on our channels and in our WhatsApp group, in our mentoring group, and TikTok, Telegram, everywhere. And they tell us, oh, but I have a QTS. How come I'm not getting a job? Today we're coming to break it down why QTS doesn't mean anything. You might as well tear it and throw it away if you do not have the things that we're going to be talking about on the channel today. Before we go further, I'm going to let Naomi give you her words of wisdom, and then we'll start with the coaching.
Hello, everyone. You are welcome back to another live session this month. You're welcome back to both of our channels. My name is Omowumi, and I'm a teacher in the United Kingdom. So, please, where are you joining us from? Can you put that in the comment section? It's actually warmer today in the UK. We're about 10 degrees, which is, though I'm still putting on the turtleneck, but yeah, it's warmer today.
So the weather is lovely, really. The weather is
Yeah,
lovely.
it's warmer today. It was very warm in the afternoon, but it's getting cold now, I think, because it's getting dark. So please put a comment in the comment section so that we can know where you're joining us from all over the world. We have viewers from Spain, from the UK, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Norway. I have
India,
people watching, yeah, India,
yeah,
Turkey.
Mexico,
Yeah,
Colombia.
yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Babajide, you are from Nigeria. Welcome. Welcome, Adeyemi, Timitokbe, and welcome, Lisa. So today, are we jumping into it quickly so that
Yeah,
we give it to them hot, hot?
yeah.
Okay, a lot of people think that having a QTS is just the doors will open up to you, and we have been talking about all the different things that you need to get a job, not just in the UK but all around the world. But whenever we talk to people, they keep telling us, "Yes, but I already have the QTS." Okay, you have the QTS. Do you have the experience? Do you have the pedagogy? Do you know what to do? Having a QTS is just the key to open the door itself. You need effort to open the door, and that's how I would liken it to. If you don't know how to hold the handle and open the door, then your QTS, you might as well throw it away, because the key might open the lock, but you still have to put the effort
Might not
to
be able to
open.
enter.
Exactly, you might not be able to enter. It's a huge achievement to have a QTS. But it QTS is actually qualified teacher status, and it's in the UK that it is being used. When the news came out that Nigerians, Indians, Ghanaians were going to get QTS by conversion, I was very happy, but I was a bit skeptical. And if you've noticed that on my channel, I don't really talk about QTS. Look, for me, the qualification is not, it's paper.
Yeah.
It's like being married. You are married, you have the marriage certificate, but you are behaving like someone that is single.
Mm.
Are you married? No. For you to be married, you have to have the composure of a married person. It's the same thing. You have a QTS, but you don't know how to manage behavior in the classroom. You have a QTS, but you don't know how to talk to your colleagues in the classroom. You have a QTS, but you don't know how to manage technology. Then where does that come from? You have a QTS, but you don't know how to be time conscious. You're going to work in a country with the certificate of that country, but you have no idea how to thrive in that classroom. Teaching is a professional course, and for you to be in that profession, you need to have the skills to thrive in that profession. Mommy, do you have anything to add here? Because today's one is hot, hot. And we got this from a question that was asked on our mentoring group.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Jay has said, You have a certificate which is QTS. I have my QTS. You have a certificate which is QTS, and you don't have all the things the school might want to see. Before I got my QTS, I already got my experience working in the UK as a teacher. And I think that helped me a lot more than the QTS I have now. That actually shaping
Exactly.
me more than the QTS I have now. If I go for job interviews now, fine, they will be glad to hear that I have a QTS, but what they would also love to see is my work experience. They are so happy. I'll tell you, the United Kingdom is very big on work experience. Very, very big on work experience. That is why some schools they still consider teachers without QTS to teach as long as they have the work experience because they know experience is key. So
Yes.
if you have QTS, and then for people that have said, okay, we have QTS, we've been going for interviews and we're not getting the job, that is because you have not researched enough. That is because you only have the QTS on paper, just like Janet said, but you don't have what the school wants. You don't have what it takes to teach in that school. You only have your certification on paper. If I have had my, I'll give you an example. If I've had my QTS before coming into the United Kingdom and then I jumped into the classroom, they will see me as a qualified teacher and will expect more. So
Yes.
I started my experience based on I was not a qualified teacher in the United. I was a qualified teacher from my country, but not a qualified teacher from Nigeria. So I was mentored, I was tutored, I was shaping even before I got my QTS. And that was
I like that
when,
word, shaped, molded.
yes, even before I got my QTS. So I would say that actually gave me an advantage. So when by the time I got my QTS, yeah, it was not even the paper thing alone. I already had my experience. So that I think that is where a lot of people are struggling. So we have lots of points why having QTS doesn't guarantee you a job. And that the first one we just talked about is experience. We have lots to talk about today. So please sit around and
Ha.
watch.
Grab a cup of tea. I have my grapes here so that I'll be popping it into my mouth and giving myself resuscitation as well. Because today's one is loaded.
Yeah.
Um, People think that having a QTS is I have a QT. We're not talking to someone recently, and she kept hammering on yes, but I have QTS.
Yeah.
Go and do this course, this course, this course. She said, but this one's not bigger than QTS. And so we were a little bit taken aback because we couldn't understand how this person will, if this person is talking to us like this, how will she behave when she goes to interview? If they are trying to tell her, we cannot hire you, we'll say it's the R, the big R. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we're not debunking that doesn't, but do your own part. We have helped dozens of people get jobs, not just in the UK, in the US, in Latin America, in Southeast Asia, who do not have QTS. In fact, go to my channel. You will see that I purposely interviewed people, two people who do not have QTS, and I put them on my channel so that you can see it is not about the QTS. It is, in fact, we have some more videos that we've not edited. They don't have QTS. So far, we've had more luck with people that don't have QTS. You know
Yeah.
why? Because they know they don't have it, so they are willing to work with us. They are willing for us to mold them. But the ones that have QTS, you tell them come and do this, they will tell you no, I have QTS. It's like some recently I was telling someone, don't do masters. Masters in education will not get you anyway. This person refused. I said, go and do a PGCE. Do you know what made the person not do PGCE? I said, postgraduate certificate in education. When there's masters, postgraduate certificates in education.
Hmm.
That is the attitude that will not get you a job. And I realize that many people who have that QTS, that is the attitude that knowingly or unknowingly, some of them have, that makes them not even, Yoruba will
Yeah.
say farabale, and listen to the things that we are giving you. We have countless videos on our channels where we're talking about making a good first impression, knowing behavior management, knowing about safeguarding. Go to my channel, go to mommy's channel. These are the little components that you need to put together. Then QTS can be the umbrella. Without QTS, if you have all those things, you still fly. Let me give you gist. I know someone. I know someone who has been working in education for 20 years. She has traveled to different parts of the world too. And I met her during my journey. She doesn't have QTS, but she's a rising. And let's not say because she's a different race. No, she looks like me. But this person does not even have QTS. And the person has gone so far in education. What does she have then? This is what we are here to talk about today. First of all, number one, do you know the difference in pedagogy? Do you know the difference? Do you know how to plan a lesson where you are planning a lesson to fit 5 different ability groups in your one classroom? We have a video on lesson plan alone, a live on lesson plan, how to break it down. In some parts of the world, they do lesson, the teacher just does one lesson plan, or they come and copy notes. They don't do that in this kind of country. So if you have a QTS certificate and you're coming to come and teach in that way, you see how it doesn't go. You can't reach. So that means you only reach one ability group in the class. What about the 4 other ability groups in the class? So they come to school, they go home, they've not learned anything. They come to school the next day, they go home, they've not learned anything. And by the time observation will come, the head of department comes into the class to observe, then that's where the problems will come from. I also have someone who she was sleeping when she was supposed to be observing. She said no, but she just closed her eyes a little. You don't close your eyes a little. It's professionalism. You do not close your eyes a little in a classroom in the diaspora. You do not sit down in a classroom in the diaspora. You have to be stood up the whole lesson or most of the lesson, and you walk around making sure that the children are supported. You support the lower ability, you support the higher ability, you support the middle ability, you support the gifted and talented in the same class. You don't teach this one and finish this teaching this one, then run to the other one. No, you are teaching everybody at the same time. Somebody that has QTS can do this, and someone who doesn't have QTS can do this. So this is where we are saying the QTS doesn't matter. Understand what is needed from you. Pelumi says, well done, ladies. It's been a while. God bless you. Pelumi, we've decided to do it once a month because we have been so busy. In between our private life, our professional life, and our mentoring group, we decided that to give you quality, we need to streamline it and give it to you once a month. Do the live once a month so that we give it to you strong. Someone says first-hand experience is key. That is true. My problem with getting first-hand experience, when I applied for a TA role when I came to the UK, bear in mind I had been teaching for 4 years at this point, or almost 5 years at this point. I came into the United Kingdom and I tried to get a job. I didn't get a job. I tried to get a TA job. I didn't get a TA job. It still comes down to that experience. They need you to go into the classroom and not cause problems for them that will bring upstairs the press and everybody else. I gave this example. And this was after I got a volunteering job. I gave this example, something as small as this. There was a child. covering break duty, yeah, as a volunteer in a school. And there was a child that was standing beside me. This child was eating, must have been eating his fruit or something, and he started to choke. But he was not choking and being, loudly. He was choking very silently because it was the food that he was eating was lodged in his throat, so he couldn't make any sounds. The teacher on the other side of the playground saw the boy beside me struggling, you know, because he had turned, his skin was ashen, white. He had gone white. I looked, she said, the boy beside you. And the boy was there. He was just, I think he was just taking deep breath. But because his color had drained from his face, the other teacher could see. I didn't see this because I'm not used to people of that color and their distress signal. So what happened? The teacher had to run from the other side to me, grabbed the boy and gave him the Heimlich um, maneuver, and he was able to vomit the food out of his throat. That is a safeguarding risk. And anybody who sees me at that point in time will call me a cause for concern. They will say I'm a cause for concern because I cannot tell the difference. That means I'm not used to diversity. I'm not used to different skin tones and what it means for a white skinned person to be in distress or a black person to be in distress. So that's one thing we need to understand. Diversity, not just diversity in the lesson planning, diversity in skin types and cultural norms. If you go to interview and they ask you questions, they won't ask you, so what is the marvelous theory of, no, that's for your PGCE. They want to know how you will thrive in the classroom so that you do not become a cause for concern. So if I were someone who didn't have a QTS, or if I had a QTS, I would like to go and find out and watch. YouTube is there for all of us today. Go and watch YouTube channels of a classroom. Just watch YouTube channels that show classrooms in the diaspora, American classrooms, even if it's a comedic skit, even if it's just pedagogy they're showing, watch the way the teachers talk to the children, watch the way they behave with the children. It gives you an idea so that when you go to interview and they ask you questions like, how would you react when a child tells you something that you know should cause concern? In Nigeria, I would say, I will tell your parents. But here they don't do that. And those are the kind of things that they need to see, not your QTS. Your QTS, like mommy said, they will ask for it, but maybe later, just to tick the box that you have it. But if you don't have a QTS, but you have all those things in place, then it will work for you. Let me hand over to mommy to tell us the next one because this one is a big one. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay, so we have lots of points as regard this topic, and that is why it's a very, 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 very hot one. So apart from work experience, Janet has talked about safeguarding, which is very big as well, which is very, very big. As please ignore the noise.
It's okay, we understand.
Which is okay. Okay, please, can you excuse us, please? We're on live. Which is very, very big as well. Safeguarding. So if you have your QTS and you don't know anything about safeguarding, that is also a cause for concern.
Yeah.
So you should which will lead me to another point, which has to do with your job interview and observation. So when it comes to, even if you're doing an online interview or you are doing a demo teach online, you your interviewer, or I would say your employer, is going to shh, your interviewer or your employer is going to check for some things when you're doing that. That's why they nod when they're doing the interview. As
Yes.
they are nodding, they are noticing some things. Those just think they are nodding and then everything is okay. That's
No.
how. we don't express, and that is some of the points that might, okay, you have QTS, but you don't know how to show expression as well. Maybe something happened and you're like, yay, and you're a teacher. Yeah.
Yes.
So you know how to handle things, because these are the questions that will be asked in your interview. If this happens, and you have QTS and you don't know how to handle that situation, you might not get the job. What if your
Yeah.
what if, for example, I think we talked about one on our mentoring group. What if you are asked in your interview about a safeguarding issue, and then what are you going to do? And you are given examples that are not related, you might not get the job, even if you have QTS, because they would, if I'm the employer, I would be like, this is going to put me in trouble.
Yes.
I'm not going to employ you. So these are some of the things. Lesson observation as well. Yes, Jay talked about lesson planning. You have QTS, you don't know how to plan a lesson, because planning a lesson in your country might be different from what we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Abigail, please.
He wants to say hi. Of course, my girl.
So your plan. Okay, I think I need to. Janet,
Let
you
me,
can take over.
yes,
Yeah.
I'll carry on. I'll carry on. And so basically, what we're trying to say here is that you have to be classroom ready. QTS does not make you classroom ready. If you train in the country, in that's in the UK, then you will be classroom ready because they would have put you through a rigorous training process where you've been in the classroom, you've seen how other teachers are doing it, you've seen how the staff handle children, not handle as in handle, I mean how they manage children, even if a child is doing something that on your maybe your spiritual mind is like ha, but your professional face will be like, okay, yes, we know how to handle this because you are not being too expressive, you're not acting emotional, you're acting professionally. Being classroom ready covers a lot of things. Being classroom ready means that you should know how to talk to your colleagues. Your colleague will not always do something that is nice to you. I have colleagues that, hmm, oh my goodness, I don't know if you watched the video that I dropped on Friday. One of my colleagues, she came on there and she wrote something there and I laughed. She said she has seen me, she knows the big deal, and then she texted me. She was like, we should record a video together and talk about the funny things that happen at school that normally you will want to scream. Teachers here don't scream. We don't scream. We don't shout. I mean, we've been on this collab recently where one of the teachers says she screams, and we're like, both of us were looking at her and thinking, okay, we don't scream. We don't shout. No way. You will burn out. Being classroom ready means that you know how to comport yourself professionally. You know how to you know how to navigate differences in the classroom, differences between your students, differences between your students and yourself, differences between just knowing how to understand, because many of the people that you are coming to meet in that country with your QTS, they don't have QTS. You might be in a school and there are people in that school who have worked their way up, but they're working their way up from level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Meanwhile, you are coming with your QTS and QTS is level 7. So you come into the school and children are coming in the morning, you don't know what to do. Or school starts at 7, 8:30, and you think and they will have assembly first. So, no. Being classroom ready means understanding the culture, the people, the pedagogy, and the way to navigate that country. If you are coming, see, I've moved around the world. I've worked in 9 different countries. And one of the things that I do when I'm going to work, if I'm moving from one country to the other, I won't say because I'm in the same Europe is the same thing. Mbano. UK takes QTS. Australia, if you are going from UK to Australia with the UK QTS, you still have to go and register. You still have to do a placement test. Even inside the UK itself, you are a key stage one teacher and you want to go and teach key stage two. You still have to do a placement. Mommy, did you do a conversion before you left a secondary to college? I'm sure you did you didn't do a short course. Did you do a short course?
Um, I wouldn't want to say that here, but yeah.
I did. I moved from the EYFS to Key Stage 1. Because I have QTS does not mean that
You can jump.
I can just jump. The pedagogy is different. The way you talk to Key Stage 1 is different from the way you talk to EYFS. EYFS, you are almost breastfeeding them. But when you get to Key Stage 1, you're not doing that, but you still support them. When I was moving from Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2, I still had to do a conversion. So some people will come to us and say, "Yes, what was that question we got? Uh, I'm I have QTS, a converted QTS from 3 to 19 from my country, and I want to go and work in secondary." If you've converted your QTS from your country and it says you can teach from 3 to 17, they will expect you to come into that classroom and be a master of the game. Not you say, our children, you hear the bell and the children get up and start walking away and you don't know what to do. They do it. The children here do it. They've done it to me. I was new in a school. The children came, the bell went, and it was a bell for changing subjects. I didn't know it was a bell for changing subjects. I just knew my period was over. So they said, "Miss, we're allowed to go." I said, okay. The children left. The next thing I heard, email. In fact, before the email came, the head of school ran to my classroom. "We do not leave children to go unescorted. You have to follow them to the next class." I was like, "Oh, okay. Sorry. I should have known that. I'm really sorry." But you see, those are the kind of things. Do I have QTS? Yes. Did I pass that particular test where I let the children go? No, I failed. So those are the things that school will be looking at. Thank God that I was in an environment where somebody ran after me to tell me, "Don't do that again." But can you
Yeah.
imagine if it was something else that had happened? If it was something greater that had happened, that's it. BBC, ITV, they'll all be at the school gate. The school head will be thinking, "Oh my Lord, why did we employ this woman? She seems to have QTS, so she should know what to do."
Mhm.
So those are the things we're saying. Please, if you have a space to volunteer, just go and be looking at them. So that's how they talk to the children. Write it down. Oh, so that's how they tell the children not to do that. We don't shout. Don't say stop that. We don't do that. Tommy, I need you to make a good impression, to make a good choice. What you are doing now, do you think is the right thing to do? Nobody will talk to children like that in Nigeria. At least my teachers didn't used to talk to me like that. Have you settled that? Guys, I hope people are taking note. Her child is there. Her child is trying to get her attention. She's not shouting. That is teacher in the UK. That is QTS teacher. Don't shout. You understand this child is curious about what's happening. So you don't shout, because if you shout, what are you getting from shouting? You talk to her. She told me, "Please handle it. Let me sort her out." And then she's come back. The child has come back. We're not going to send them away. This is the difference between working here and working back home. Back home, I think I watched a skit where Jackie Chan was talking about his son. I watched it yesterday. Someone sent it to me and she was laughing. Jackie Chan said when he was growing up in his country, their teachers used to flog them. And sometimes the teacher will flog them just because she wants them to to behave in the classroom. But his own son, he can't do that to his son because his son grew up in the US. And this is the difference. He said an adult will come into the room and he will get up and bow. But his son will lie down and say, "What's up, dad? How are you?" Is the difference. Do you know how to cope with that culture? Do you know how to get a child to do what you want to do? Having a QTS does not teach you how to handle the children here. Having a QTS just says that you know how to teach. But teaching goes beyond telling children, sit down, don't do that, copy this note. You did that, I'm going to tell your parents. No, we don't do that at all. Please, guys, as we are talking, Mom may be right back. Just be dropping your questions down below because today we are going to be answering a lot of questions because we had a video where I talked about someone who had a QTS, then had an American teaching license, they went to get a Canadian teaching license, and she still wasn't getting jobs. The reason why she wasn't getting jobs is because she's not classroom ready, diaspora and classroom ready. So if you have questions, please drop it down below so that we can answer you because we are here for that today.
Okay, guys, sorry about that.
No, no need to be sorry. I'm giving them practical example of.
Exactly, because we had to bargain. She wanted something that has lots of sugar, and that's why she's been coming back with now. So we had to do some bargain. I gave her a little. Okay, guys, and yes, you bargain in your class as well. You do that.
Oh yes, oh yes,
Can you do some work for me, please? And then we
yes,
can have some time to play, especially for
yes.
those in early years.
It's not only early years. My kids stage too. Sometimes I feel as if they are more. You will expect, it's okay now, you people, don't you know? But the thing is, each year they expect you to give them the rules that you need. Do you know how to come up with rules that makes it look as if you are being democratic in the classroom and you are not being autocratic in the classroom? Because if we do not have authoritarian teachers here, where you come up. Let me give you another example. My second year of teaching, I remember a child in my class was being disruptive. So I told the child, stand up, stand up. And then I carried on teaching the class. I got an email saying I am eroding the confidence of that child. Why? Because I'm telling the child to stand up because he was being disruptive in the classroom. So that child will not learn anything the whole of that lesson. Everybody will be facing the child as the child is standing up and everybody else is sitting down. There are other ways that you can get the child to focus on the lesson and not disrupt your class instead of telling the child to stand up. And it comes with your behavior management in that classroom, which someone with QTS is expected to have. Someone said, if you don't have patience with kids, don't teach. It's not just about patience. There are people who are not patient, but they know how to use the rules to help them. You just need to know how to use the rules. Please, what are the countries in Europe that can offer me a job with TRCN? Very good. This is bringing me to the next part of my talk. Okay. QTS is for the UK. TRCN is the same thing, but in Nigeria. For you to get a job in wherever country you want to go to in Europe, you have to find the equivalent. So QTS is the same equivalent as TRCN. It's just that people with TRCN, they've learned how to teach in a different way. If you are going to go to Australia, you have to register with AITL, the Australian equivalent of the DFES. If you want to go to Europe, you have to look for the equivalent in that country, convert your qualification to that equivalent, and then you go from there. So if you want me to tell you a country in Europe, there are different countries with different things that they require. Even people with QTS, when they want to come and teach in Europe, they have to follow the rule of the country they are coming to teach in. I'll give you an example. If you're coming from the UK to Norway and you think you can just walk in because you have QTS, it doesn't happen that way. You have to come to Norway, register with the NOKUT. They will do your equivalency for you. Then they will tell you, okay, now we can recognize your certificate and then you can work in Norway. So my advice to you is that you need to do some research. Check. We always say this. Decide what country do you want to go to. You can't just say because you have TRC and you can work in any country in Europe. You have to do the conversion. When you do the conversion, conversion for the Netherlands. You can't use the conversion for Netherlands to work in Norway. No, you cannot. Because most of them you have to register with their department for education. If you want me to give you a list of all the countries I've worked in and how I've converted uh, my certificate so many times. If I show you my certificate, it has a lot of stamps on the back of it showing that each country I've worked in has done the equivalency and they've stamped it to say that it's because they have to first of all check if it's genuine. My certificate has a pattern on the back of it, but that's what it takes to work in different countries. So choose the country you want to go to and work towards it. Adeyemi Temitope says, be classroom ready. Yeah. For me, I tried to get TA job. They didn't allow me. So I had to go and volunteer. I have said this so many times. I was working in the care industry in the UK. Even though I was a teacher before I came to the UK, I couldn't get into teaching immediately with my American teaching license. So what I did was I went to work as a carer. I was working as a carer at night. And then in the daytime, I was volunteering. It was because I was volunteering I was able to network and talk to other people who were able to tell me, oh no, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do this. Now imagine if I was applying and applying and applying and applying, I would not have that access to people who will be able to advise me. So networking is key. Watching our videos, being on our mentoring group, going on Facebook teaching groups for things you need. A teacher is a researcher. So you have to learn how to be a researcher to work in teaching. The jobs are there. There are loads of jobs. There's a shortage around the world. It's just that many people don't know what to do. They keep submitting their CV. CV for UK is different from CV for the US. CV for US is different from CV format Australia. So I always say choose where you want to go first. Then you work towards it because you might need to register with that country. If you're not working at an international school, if you're working at a national curriculum school, you have to convert your certification. So your QTS will become useless at that point. You're not ready. Do you see what I mean? Okay. Uh,
My bargaining power is not working.
doesn't always doesn't always work.
I'll just chip in something to what you have said
Okay.
about Tomilola's question.
Yeah.
So I can see that what we've been talking about still find a way to into our question, whereby she said, which country can settle with my TRCN?
Okay.
I would like to say for we in some part of the world, we try to put our certificate in the front. We want people to see, especially when you see our CV, our education is at the top. So we want people to see, I have TRCN, I have master's degree, I have this, I have that. I'm not saying don't tell them what you have, but in this part of the world, your work experience matters a lot. Janet has a question that how did I transition like from having QTS which ranges from 5 to 16 to further education. Further education are post 16 adults. And this is very related to the question we had on our group this afternoon, that someone that has QTS ranging from 11 to 16 and wants to teach in the primary school, what can you do? So Janet has said some of them: volunteering. If you currently teach and your school has maybe a primary session, you can decide to volunteer to go and see what is happening there. From there, you can work your way up into the primary school with your experience, because they know you already have the experience. The reason why I could transition easily was because I had experience in further education. So experience matters a lot, a lot. So don't base your knowledge on I have QTS. We're not saying QTS is not good, is an advantage. I'm happy I can say I'm a qualified teacher in a particular country. I'm not saying putting your TRCN in your CV is bad or something, but don't rely on those certification as okay, I have TRC and that means I have it all, or I have QTS. Don't you know I have QTS? That doesn't work. Don't rely on this certification. Rely more on your work experience. For example, someone coming from a country whereby there are no or not very much SCN students coming into a country whereby we have SCN students. I've worked in the SCN department, which I love so much. If you come into that particular school to come and teach, you might struggle. Not you might, you will struggle.
Real struggle. It's too much.
You will struggle because you don't know what is happening there. I love that department a lot. You don't know what is happening in that department, the SCN department. So this is what, and you will say, I have my QTS. And QTS does not guarantee you to be an SCN teacher. It's your work experience that guarantees you to be an efficient and good SCN teacher. So that would take us to another point.
Yes, please.
Should we go through some questions?
Yeah. Before we go to questions, it's so if you feel like you are in a country where you can't get the experience, jump on Allison, jump on Coursera, jump on the British Council
Yeah.
website
Yeah.
and do the course.
Of course, yeah.
Most of those courses are free. You will not have the hands-on experience, but you have the theoretical experience where
Mm.
you can prove to an interviewer that you know about this thing. So if they know that you already know about you know what safeguarding is, you know what child protection is, or you know what SCN is, then they will say, okay, come, then we can train you. It's when you don't have anything at all, they will look and say, where we start from with this one. So they won't want to go further, because at the end of the day, everything rests on their shoulder. When Ofsted comes, Ofsted will not hold you. Ofsted will hold the head of school, because they are supposed to have vetted you before you came into the school. This doesn't only happen in the UK, even though we're talking about QTS today. For example, in the US, they don't have a federal qualification like QTS or TRCN that covers the whole country. Each state has their own state qualification, and most of the time it's because you have to register with the state to get the state registration certificate, which is equivalent to this TRCN. Same thing. You are going to a school in the US, they call it SPED, special education SPED. You
Yeah.
don't know what SPED is. Please, guys, don't think that special education is one classroom where they pour all the children. Oh. Since 2020, we all know what happened in 2020. Since 2020, 30% of most schools have SEN. And because of inclusion practices, they include those children. They don't pack them and go and throw them in one classroom. It will not work. They want them to be included in everyday life. So they add them to the classroom. So in a classroom, if you are a teacher in a classroom, you will have SEN children in your class. SEN doesn't mean that they are disabled. SEN could just mean they don't speak English. For example, children coming in from Ukraine because of what is happening in Ukraine, they will put them in your classroom so that they can pick up the language. If they pour them in one classroom, they will they won't pick up the language like when they are mixing with other children. So that means when you are doing your lesson plan, you have to remember that child doesn't speak English. So you have to work in such a way that you are teaching the child English, you are helping the child assimilate into the system, and you are still teaching the rest of the class. If you're not classroom ready to work in the diaspora, your QTS, you might as well throw it in the fire, because that child will be in that class and that child has to the child has to improve by the end of the year. And it's not a case of extra lesson. No, there's no extra lesson. They don't support extra lesson. If the child comes into your classroom and he doesn't get the knowledge, even if everybody is learning Pythagoras theorem and the child is able to know plus b, a square plus b square is equal to c square, even though he has not put the manipulatives inside, the child now knows a, and because in his own language there's no a and there's no b, there's no c, but now he knows a square plus b square is equal to c square. You've done something, you've taught him something, not at the level of the rest of the class, but he has learned something, he has moved forward for other teachers to build upon. That's the SEN that we're talking about. So jump on any course that you see and get that knowledge. So you were going to add something. Sorry, before I interrupted you.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all. I think that's basically we've covered what might hinder you from getting a job if you think you have QTS, QTS, QTS. We hear that a lot. I have QTS, and sometimes I roll my eyes. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
QTS again. Not because I'm not happy you have QTS, but because I know it's not all about QTS.
QTS. QTS. Pelumi says, can you help us with a list of all the courses that you may need? My goodness, I can help you with courses that I will need. I don't know what you will need. Are
Yes,
you good
please.
with are you good with technology? If you're not good with technology, then you cannot thrive in the classroom abroad, because everything we do,
It's technology.
everything we do is technology. Everything. I can stand in front of my classroom. Not I can even be behind the classroom and I'm with my iPad and I've put my what do they call it? Whiteboard on. First of all, do you know how to operate whiteboard? We don't do a projector anymore. If you go to any school and you see projector, there's no school that is underfunded to that point anymore. I want to say the school is underfunded, but there's nothing like that. So I can stand at the back of my class and I'll be going through my iPad and I will connect my iPad to the smart board and I will just swipe and it will show on the whiteboard. And then I can mark the children's work on my iPad. I have
I saw a question that is can high LTS UKVI be replaced for TESOL?
no,
No. I have
never.
a video coming up tomorrow, so you can wait for
Please.
that. No.
Yes.
No, no,
No.
no, 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 no.
Capital N
No. No, no,
O.
no, 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 no. No. TESOL is teaching English as a foreign language. These are for ESOL teachers because we have some students that are speakers of
Other
non-English,
language.
where
Yes.
yes, other languages, whereby the official language is not in English. So that is TESOL. No, they are not even related.
Even
No.
TEFL, you say you
Yeah.
don't want to do IATS, so you go and do TEFL.
Mm.
Guys, please don't do TEFL. We've said that so many times. Yes, you will see some websites will tell you go and do TEFL. Please, if you look like me, don't do TEFL. Because at the end of the day, you are still classed as a non-native English
English.
speaker.
Yeah.
So that will be, you will do the TEFL, non-native English speaker will meet you on the way, and
On
that's where it
point.
will
Yeah.
stop. Go and do your normal PGCE so that you can teach a subject in English where your proficiency is you're supposed to have the proficiency, but it's not a do or die affair.
Mm.
TEFL, Don't do it. When I first started, there were a lot
I
of
think the only chance they have with TEFL, in which I am, so that we won't be like they'll be like Jay said they shouldn't do TEFL, is if you are an ESOL teacher, you can do TEFL. But if you want to teach English, proper English, when it has to do with maybe functional skills English, English language in the classroom, not as English speaking as a foreign language, then TEFL no. But if you're going to teach ESOL, we have ESOL teachers. You can do TEFL. You can do CELTA. You can do TESOL.
if you want to get jobs easily, please don't go and do TEFL, because there are so many people from native English countries that they will choose before you. I know, because I went to do TEFL and it did not help me. It did not get me anywhere. In fact, I've never used that certificate till today. Every time I apply for a job, they will tell me, "What country are you from?" If I say Nigeria, they will say, "You are not a native English speaker. Mhm. Somebody should be teaching you English too. So, not you going to teach somebody else." So, guys, let's not waste our money, please. List of courses, Pelumi. Sit down, please do a self reflection. What is your deficiency? Are you good with classroom management? If you are not, put classroom management on your list of courses. For someone like me, if you want to give me a list of courses, me, Janet, to do, I will not put Microsoft 365, because I know how to operate technology. I will not put smart board because I know how to operate a smart board. I will not put behavior management. I know behavior management. Unless I want to do behavior management at an advanced level. Hey. So you sit down, think about what kind of courses you feel you need for your pedagogy. How would you know what you need? Watch YouTube videos that show what a classroom looks like. If the child does something and you are like, hey, it means that you are not ready to handle the behavior here. Quickly go and do behavior management course. Because for you to say, hey, it means that that is still shocking to you. But me and mom, we will watch it and we'll be like, yeah, that's what they do. It's, we know how to handle them, because it's not new to us. That behavior is not new to us. So choose courses like behavior management, technology, something to do with your subject, safeguarding, child protection. I'm thinking of all the basic courses now that you should do, but it depends. If, for instance, if you want to teach EYFS, look for behavior management for EYFS. If you are going to teach secondary, look for behavior management for secondary. Look for communication. This is a good one. Communication techniques for the everyday classroom, because the way we talk to children back in your country is not the way they talk to children in the diaspora. You have to bargain with them. It's almost as if you're not serious, but you're serious. That kind of thing. And communication is what will get you there, where you're not shouting, but you are talking, and the child is understanding. And if somebody else hears what you said to the child, they will not say, "Why did you say that?" So it's learning how to communicate in a way that you cover your back. You make sure your idea is felt. The child understands. You're not getting yourself in trouble with the way you talk, and everything will be fine. People are afraid of teaching. Teaching is the easiest job in my book. Just understand the game, understand the rule. Once you understand the rule, you see in Nigeria, mom, we were talking about this a few days ago. In Nigeria, you must finish the syllabus. Here, you must understand the syllabus. If it takes you 2 weeks for them to understand the syllabus, then you spend 2 weeks, and you can justify it with evidence. Here, that's another thing. You have to learn how to collect evidence, because there's evidence for everything. So you see, your QTS does not teach you how to collect evidence. You've collected TRC and you converted it to QTS, but you don't know how to do all these things we're talking about. You are not classroom ready. Okay. Any other question? Since UK teaching is different from Nigeria teaching, can I apply as a teaching assistant to know more of their system? Yes, but you have to be in the country because don't forget, you have to prove to the UKVI that you meet the salary threshold. If you're in the UK, please run, don't walk. Go and do TA and be watching. You become a student in that classroom while you are helping. You are seeing how the teacher is talking to the children. You are seeing how the children are behaving. You are seeing how they are doing differentiation. You are seeing how they are using technology. You are seeing how they communicate. You are seeing how colleagues talk to each other while you are helping in the classroom. It helps a lot because the minute you enter with your QTS, hey, the way they will slam you with work because they will be like, you have QTS. Come. In fact, they will even give you more work than the others because you have QTS, whereas the others might not have QTS. So please, this QTS, let it not confuse us, eh? Olaito say, hey. Olaito, please come and join us. Should we make space for you? We can send you the link. Come and join us. Come and give us gist. Come and give us gist, please. This QTS will not put people in trouble. Pelumi says, thanks, Jay. You're welcome, my darling. As an LAS educator, Pelumi, LAS, are you an LAS teacher? Hey, all the LAS teachers in the house. Woo, woo, woo. I'm here dancing. No, we're like the children we teach. I like to say over syllabus. Look for communication
Hey, we
techniques.
have steez. We have
Yes,
steez. You
we
are
have
very demure.
very demure, very mindful of what we say in the classroom. Because that QTS, we put it under the table, we look first, then when we finish understanding it, then we bring the QTS out and show them that okay, we're ready now. We're ready now to show QTS. Wahala for person we get QTS. So babe, please come and tell us. Please come and tell them. Because when we are talking, they just feel like we are just talking. Repping EY teachers here all the
Oh,
way. This is it. You see all the EYFS teachers, they are popping up. We don't hide. We know what we are worth. We're the ones that prepare the road for the others to come and build their. If we don't do a good job, the others will not be. Key stage one teachers will not be able to teach. Key stage two, they can throw it away.
yes. Oh.
Mom herself, she'll be there sitting there looking and say, "Ha, didn't this child go to EYFS?" So we're the ones that we do all the work. Oh, yeah, talking from Neoma. I want to say a lot. Repping from Tanzania. Yes, please. Should we spill the beans? Okay, I'll keep quiet until you are ready to tell us. Yes, please. But guys, that's someone that was on our group in Tanzania. We should be singing what um someone said that means I wasted my money in 2023 with IELTS. No, your IELTS shows that you can speak English, but you can't. If you want to teach, if you want to train, or you want to teach, some countries maybe during the interview they will tell you, maybe you are mixing up your words, your pronunciations were not. Let me report myself. When I first started teaching abroad, I used to say development. I had to go and do a course for
Or
communication,
pronunciation.
pronunciation,
Mm.
or government.
Mm.
So that's why they make us go and they force us to do IELTS. But like I said in some of my videos, listen to BBC. Just be listening. I said one, which day was that? I said fanatic. Hey, my husband looked at me and said, huh? Have you been talking to your Nigerian friends? I said, why did you say so?
Yes, she has been talking to more women.
It's not even you. It's one of my friends in Belgium. So he said, you've been talking to your Nigerian friends because I know you. You will not say that. And I said, when I'm speaking to my Nigerian friends, I cannot be speaking the way I speak to you guys. And I said that he knows. But the way they say fanatic.
Yeah.
If we go and say fanatic, they'll say, go and do IELTS. If you say fanatic, not development, not development, it's
Mm.
development, not
Not pronunciation, pronunciation.
pronunciation. So that's the reason why they force people to go and do IELTS. But if you've been listening, just look for, see, my own is never far from me. What is this?
And don't our EYFS people, they have helped a lot. Don't think you cannot go back to learn phonics. I learned phonics a lot from my children because that is what they learn in fact, my when I pronounce some things just like Jia said, my son will be like,
Hmm?
no. So you're not too old to learn phonics. It's on YouTube. You can learn it with them, with your children. If you don't have one, you can learn it yourself. I learn it individually myself. You can go on Google. Now our phone has this talk. I use it a lot. Has whereby you say what is the pronunciation of this word.
Eh,
Yes, and then it will tell you, okay, it's called
tell you.
pronunciation, it's called
Yes.
develop, it's called, yeah. So you can learn that a lot from there.
And if you don't want to do EYF,
Because if you think what we are saying now, we are just playing. If you come in and then in the classroom you are saying develop, your students will be like,
they're the ones that will first go and
they are the
report
one.
you.
Yes, that's what
Because
she's talking about. We don't understand.
mommy, we've not told them. Oh. Your students will fill out a reflective form at the end of your lesson. Sometimes they do it every week. Sometimes they do it twice a term. They will tell you. So they call it accountability in my school. I don't know what they call it in your school, but the students will say what they like about you, their teacher. They will say what they don't like about their teacher, and the school will collect it and they will keep it and they will look. Is an appraisal for you, the teacher. Me, I know that nobody gave me this in Nigeria to feel. If not, I feel a lot of things about some of my teachers, especially that my primary four teacher that never stood up from her chair. She would come in the morning and sit down, and that's it. She's teaching, she's using hand to stretch. Let me not talk too much about my teacher. But here, your students have to appraise you. Your line manager will appraise you. Then the school will take your students' appraisal and your manager's appraisal and they'll use it to promote you. So if your students say anything bad about your pronunciation, because it means that instead of you to say some words in a particular way, you're saying it in a way that they don't understand. So please, me, I have books, lots of books, and I make sure I try to distinguish between British English and American English.
Yes, please.
Don't
Yes.
just choose any and any and be mixing it
Yes.
like jollof
Yeah.
rice. No. Choose British English or American English.
Yeah.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Like I said, my earphones are. I'm washing plates. I'm listening. Driving. I'm listening. Because sometimes I still mispronounce some words because I grew
Yeah.
up in Nigeria.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can't be perfect. No. It's too late.
Even though I'm married to one of them, we don't. There are
It's
some
the,
words
it's
we
the
never
children
say.
that can, because they
Exactly.
are young. Yeah.
So please, hello ma.
You see? You see?
I want to give a gentle reminder to check my email,
You
please.
see?
Okay,
Two strikes.
I will check
Hello,
the.
ma. And gentle reminder. Two strikes.
I will check the email. Gentle reminder: you need to watch my gentle reminder video. Our gentle reminder live sef. Someone said, thanks a lot for the clarification. You're welcome. This is what we are here for. When we first started, nobody showed us the way. In fact, sometimes you go and ask some people, they will not want to tell you. They feel because they suffered, then you should suffer too, because that's the way for you to learn. Please, we're not on that level. We are here to answer questions. We are here to give people the gist. The only thing is, if we give up our time, our private time with our families to come here, please, you guys need to put in
Please, I
a
need
lot.
us to answer this question because I got the same today.
Uh-huh.
Today, gone, gone, gone. I'm a chemistry teacher with TRCN and QTS already, coming for MA education. God. Is this still possible to switch to PGC or I should go for TA upon arrival?
Oh, whoa. Mommy, which way will we put this placard for them? Stop coming to do masters in education. Aye mi tèmi bá mi.
You see, what I would advise Marquis is, if I'm right with the pronunciation, is when you, because you're already coming, if you have not applied, please change to PGC. But if you have applied and you've gotten your maybe you've gotten your
Visa.
pass, you've gotten your everything, when you arrive, try and see if your, I'm not saying it's certain, try and see if your university is offering PGC. Here in the UK, you have the right to speak. Speak with your administrative department or something and see if you can change your course, if it's possible. But if it's not possible, just just you have said that if you should go for TA upon arrival, please jump into the work experience, volunteer, do TA, get your work experience so that when you're done with your master's in education, it wouldn't be a waste. I'm not saying it's a waste, but it's best you do PGC instead of master's in education. PGC will still give you an edge over master's in education.
Someone said, I'm only joking about gentle reminder. I know.
Okay.
I know the
That was why I
person.
said I gave you 2 strikes.
Oh Lord. Please,
But Babajide,
yeah.
if you have not applied, please just go for PGC instead of coming for masters in education.
Yeah. That they don't qualification is not a big thing for them. It's the experience.
With the experience.
Experience is bigger. Mommy, how many people have we helped to get jobs that don't have QTS?
In
Too
fact,
many. But that masters, hey,
yeah. And
I
you know
don't.
what? With masters in education, I think this is what a lot of people don't understand. With masters in education, like I was drained with my own masters when I did mine in my country. I've said it on this channel. I did teaching practice even during my master's degree. Here in the UK, if you do master's degree in education, it's just like flex because you're going to class once a week. They believe you already have the PGC, you already have the knowledge. Masters in education is just an advanced training. It's just advanced. But if you do PGC, you'll be
Then you are
given a place. It's just like they are
in class.
training you. You are
Yeah.
trained. But masters, it's just like you already have the training. You just want something advanced, and then I bet it with you, they have just class once a week, just once a week,
Unlike PGCE.
or like
PGCE.
PGC.
Where are all the PGCE people in the house? Please just drop a comment down below if you're in PGCE. Hey, PGC. Do you know what I told somebody? I say even if they offer me £1 million to do that PGC again, I will not do it.
So you see the reason why they will choose someone with PGC over masters in education. They will choose. In fact, if PGC has not really done well in the interview and masters in education have done well, they will still try and say, we can package PGC because she has been trained, he or she has been trained and will mentor her. Let's take PGC students.
PGC. Yeah. If you countries like the Netherlands, you need a BSc and a master's in education. If you go to the US, you can do a bachelor's degree and a master's in education, but you still need that registration. That's their K to 12 teaching license. So the master's is just to show that this person likes book. It's not this person knows how to teach. No, at all. That doesn't help. At all, at all. Stephanie says, even having a BSc in education, is it compulsory to do a PGC? A BSc,
See in
Bachelor of Science.
education.
Is it BSc or BEd?
BSc.
Mm.
BSc Ed. Yeah, so she's right. BSc in education. Yes.
Okay, it's the same thing. You have the same thing.
Yeah.
PGC, BEd is the same thing. The difference between the PGC and the BEd is the BEd person finished secondary school, wrote JAMB, went to university to do 3 years or 4 years to get the qualification to teach. PGC is for people like me that we first went to go and do medicine. Then we now decided, you know what, we don't want to do this medicine again. We want to go and teach. They will
Mm.
now say, come and do what that person did for 4 years in the BSc education. Okay, you now come and do it in 1 year because you're a graduate already. Come and do it in 1 year. So we are doing 3 years in 1 year, but we come out with the same degree, the same qualification.
And if you have BSc in education and probably you're already in the UK or you're already in a country you think you want to go for PGC, it is fine. No? It's best you are trained in that country. I'm still going, I have said it on my channel, I'm still going and I am still, not even I'm still going. I'm
Oh, yes.
undergoing some courses, even though I have my qualification and all that. So we
Yes.
learn every day, we train every day just to be on top of our game. So if you think I want to have my PGC, it's okay. It's fine. So Sam Palm asks, please, I want to know if there is a way a TA or a cover supervisor working with an agency can get an appraisal so as to know if one is progressing or not. Appraisal
They won't get an appraisal. If
is
they
because
if the school calls you back, that's your first appraisal.
that's in fact you've read my mind.
If you've gone to go and do supply at a school and the school says, we like women so much, can you please send her back? That's
Yeah,
your first
that's the
appraisal. It
appraisal.
means
Yeah.
Ororo
But
is
if the agency
um,
calls you, because the agency will not call you and say the school does not like you. We don't do that here. We don't
no,
say that. But if the
no.
agency calls you and say, the school is booked, would you like to, we would be placing you in another school, just know the school has told them not to send you back.
Yes, that happened to me. Oh my lord. The first school, they said, and I liked the school where the boy was choking, and I didn't see. They said they should not call me. Don't call that woman back. She cannot tell when a white child is choking and going white. And I said, but it's white. They say yes. Oh my god, that was a funny. But I'm still friends with them today because I now went back to do my placements there.
Uh,
But when I went to do my placements there, they kept teasing me with it. But that's it. They will tease you, you will take it. You will not faraya, as they say.
mhm.
So yeah. Oh my goodness. Victoria said we are here. Yes, the people that went to first do another course, then we now decided, okay, we want to go and teach now.
Mhm.
I decided to become a teacher because I wanted to be on holiday when my children were on holiday and at work when my children are at work. So my microbiology, I flung it into the bush.
Would you advise someone that wants? We'll take two more questions, please, because
It's
tomorrow is
time.
Monday. I
Yes,
still have
please.
my mark scheme to to do.
I've not finished my lesson plan.
So we'll take two more questions, please, and then we'll round off. We see you next month. So if you are new here, you can join our mentoring group. You can send us, both of us, you can send us emails, and then we'll reply to your email. So I
Yeah.
would go through. Would you advise someone that wants to go into lecturing to go for masters instead of PGC?
You still need a QTS or a QTLS. Even
LS.
if you do a master's, if you want to teach 16 and above, you need a QTLS. Qualified teacher in learning and something.
Skills, yeah.
So you still need QTLS or QTS. QTS is from 16 down. QTLS is from
16 up.
the big mummies and daddies that want to teach. Me too. don't you have lecturers? Me, I go to school too.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
teacher is
Yes.
a continuous learner. So the person
Yeah.
that is going to teach me will have QTLS. But me, because I'm teaching the younger ones, I have a QTS. So that's just the difference. So
So
it's
if
a
you want to go more into if you want to focus, but I don't okay, don't let me say I don't. If you want to go more into lecturing, if you know that's your focus, your first degree in your subject area, master's education, but with lecturing abroad, you can't repete it or masters. You can't like sit down masters. They want you to progress writing, publication, going into PhD.
PhD,
Ah, I
masters.
have friends that are
Oh,
in the
that masters,
lecturing
I don't even
sector. They
know.
don't sit down on master. In fact, they have their PhD. They do publications back to back. So yeah.
Especially the US. I had to do publication.
Mm.
I had
So
to do publication. I was
they
like,
write
eh,
a lot, a lot.
too much.
Is it compulsory I do the PGC in the diaspora? No, my darling, it's not compulsory.
No. I have a video on my channel. Jennifer did not do she didn't want to leave Nigeria. She wanted to stay in Nigeria because she didn't want to come and leave her children behind. So she did her PGCE in Nigeria. However, I will advise you if you're going to do your PGCE in Nigeria, because you still need that experience, please look for a school. Tori Wonpe.
Swallow it, please.
Look for a school that look for either a British international school, an American international school. Tell them you will volunteer, even if they don't give you. Just at least you need somewhere to go and do your placement. They will take you because schools, we're always looking for free labor. We're always looking for free labor. Come. Yes, yes, yes. Where you'll be following these children, you'll be reading with these children. Tell them, okay, because as long as you can work with 6 children, your PGC assessor will be able to assess you because you can work with 6 children. It means that's like a class on its own. So masters and then PhD. Okay, for lecturing.
For lecturing, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you guys for watching up till this moment. We are sorry we will not be able to take more questions. Please join us next month. If you're in our mentoring group, you can drop your questions there. If you want to join, send us email and we will send you the requirements. You cannot just, we don't accept people anyhow.
At all. Or you can drop your questions
Yes, or you can drop your
on
question
the
after the
video
live and then
and
I
we'll
bet
answer.
yeah, we are going to reply. Yes, we're going to reply to your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Happy new month to the teachers. We have another 5 weeks to go
Yay!
before the Easter holiday. Yeah. So 5 more weeks to go.
Yes,
The Lord,
please.
the Lord will help us in Jesus' name. I'm a believer, so that's why.
Please comment down below if people want us to have a master class. We can come up with a master
Yeah.
class for you
Yeah.
guys because we're
Yeah.
thinking a master class where we can actually sit down and maybe teach you people and everybody's talking and it will be
Yes,
good.
yes. Whereby we
So
can have a board and all that, but it will not be a general life here, whereby we have it will be for members only, but it will be a master class
yeah.
whereby we discuss. We'll have topics we'll discuss on that live session, but it will be for members only. So yeah, thank you everyone. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye
Bye.
guys.